she might have just broken her toe the day before her wedding.
We're the Jonases. We're a family of 10 plus a few more. I'm the mom PJ with my husband Jim, our daughter Brett, our sons Coulter, Emery, Fletcher, Graydon, and Hewitt, and our daughters Indigo and Jade. We have our hands full with raising dairy goats on our farm, making goat milk soaps and other products from their milk, all while homeschooling and homesteading happily. We love our life and sharing how we live on the other side of the fence.
Hey guys, it is about 7 in the morning and I am about to take the last 2 puppies to the airport so that they can fly home. They have quite a flight. There's a bit of bittersweet sadness, you know. We definitely love to see them go to good homes, but we are going to miss them, so that's kind of where we're at.
Taking puppies to the airport is a pretty easy task. The trouble comes when you need to handing the puppy over to the airport staff. You have to make sure that the crate fits with the puppy very well. They don't allow for any cut corners or anything. The puppy needs to fit very comfortably and you have to have all of your paperwork. And I say it was trouble for us because we had never done it before, and so we didn't have everything all lined up. We got it figured out, but after that it was very easy to take the puppies to the airport, drop them off. You get updated texts on when the puppy gets there, and that's very comforting knowing that it got to its owner safe and sound. So we're hoping to have more puppies for the end of the year. We have one female that we think might be in heat. We're not 100% sure. We've had trouble with her before, getting her pregnant. Her cycle is very unpredictable and she's not a huge fan of our male, so it's just a tricky process.
Doing hay is one of those seasonal jobs that I don't think anyone really likes doing, but it just needs to be done. I prefer being on the wagon, putting it onto the elevator, so not stacking on the wagon, but unstacking on the wagon. If I'm in the barn, I don't really like it. I don't do as well. But putting on the elevator, that is my favorite job of a not favorite task.
Whenever we throw hay, we usually have a few people who regularly come. My friends, the Rancis, who are Samuel's brothers, they come and we always have a fun time with them. So that's probably my favorite part about hay, not actually doing it, but hanging out with my friends. It makes it a fun time even though throwing hay is not that fun in and of itself.
Do you like doing hay?
I do not like doing hay.
No, not really.
Yes.
What?
What?
I think throwing hay is fun, but only for short periods of time.
It's a great opportunity to make some money, let's be real. Like that's what I love about hay. But hay is like a horrible workout. It's just this like excruciating workout that you do for like 3 hours. And then it like attacks you while it does it. So like you will automatically not be able to breathe, and it like clogs up your airways and you cannot breathe at all. And then you'll also be like automatically, even if you're not allergic to hay, because I'm not allergic to hay, my brother is, and it's so much worse for him, but it still attacks your skin and you get this like red, itchy, horrible skin attack. So like it's like a workout that just attacks you. But it's a lot of fun because if you have the right people, you're just like laughing and joking while doing it, and also you get paid at the end, so that's nice.
It's his bachelor party, he's not allowed to know anything.
He said of working it.
Yeah, we're talking about it. So like, what are you doing for your bachelor party, or for the bachelor party?
Right, yeah, no, that'd be it for
He's
that.
not allowed to
We
be
don't
here.
know.
You don't know?
That's my job. So I decided to do a archery tag, which is dodgeball with arrows. I've done this myself in the past with my, not homemade stuff, but bought my own equipment to do it with. But I wanted to go to someplace more professional to do it, and I couldn't find any actual facilities that did it. But there was this one company in Clarksville that came to a location and set up barriers and provided bows and arrows. And so I went with them and brought it here to the farm.
But this was a really cool idea. So for the bachelor party, I didn't know what was going on, but we went to a fancy restaurant pretty far away. And then on the way back, started to figure out what was going on maybe. And by the time we got there, I realized we were doing archery tag, which is really cool. I love bows and arrows, and we used to shoot bows and arrows in our front yard all the time when we were kids, until Emery put one through the neighbor's roof and we weren't allowed to shoot bows and arrows anymore. So this was like a huge kind of brought me right back to the good old days. And we were able to just shoot the mess out of each other with bows and arrows. We had a total blast. So, I mean, just the whole time we were able to kind of sharpen our skills, and Samuel was able to use his bow, and he was passing that around. I got to use it quite a bit, which is a 50-pound pole, so it was like 2 times as fast as all the other bows. So whoever had that one was pretty much a sniper and could just like kick butt. It was really, really cool.
Coulter is steady.
Coulter is stoic.
Stoic the Vast comes to mind.
Coulter is very stoic.
Serious/focus.
Coulter is very complex.
He's also very stubborn.
I'm gonna say mature and goofy. Mature and goofy.
Katie is joyful.
Perfect for Coulter.
Katie is caring and fun.
Quirky and happy.
Katie is very caring and thoughtful.
Caring and loving.
Katie is so sweet.
Katie is very joyful.
Coulter brings to the family his ability to work through just about anything. He's always there to put in the hard work that needs to be done to keep our family and the business going.
Yeah, like nothing, like when he was younger, like nothing fazed him. He was like this fearless brother. He was like, you know, I know best, I'm invincible.
So Coulter has always had a very prominent role in leading this family. He is the eldest boy, and he has always taken it upon himself to be an amazing role model for us and really just like take a lot of problems and shoulder them and just like be a great example for us all. So I think Coulter's biggest like that he brings to the family is just a great role model, and he always brings level-headed wisdom and logic to any situation.
Well, I know Fletcher said stoic the Vast, which I feel like is a little too good for Coulter.
The strengths that Coulter brings to the family are really he's super analytical. He is able to think without the cloud of emotion.
Coulter has one of the biggest senses of responsibility and sacrifice. So most of the children see the work that needs to be done, but won't always sacrifice to the level that Coulter will to get those things done.
Katie brings her joy for life, and the way she loves my kids and the way my kids love her, they're obsessed with Aunt Katie. It just makes me so happy.
Katie, especially lately, has been so just like into the family. She has been here for every fam jam. She is here all the time helping pick stuff in the garden. She's helping clean things. She's just always here, and it really makes me feel like she's part of the family because I grew up getting to see all of my siblings every single day, and so when they're around, it just makes me connect to them so much more.
I think Katie brings the strength to the family of just like a certain sense of understanding that sometimes all of us sometimes lack, and sometimes when we all get very focused on subjects, she can like bring us back and give us a clarity on situations that we're not quite used to.
I think one of the things that Katie really brings to the family is how thoughtful she is and how in tune she is with people's emotions and being able to pick up on the little things.
She made Coulter less serious, which definitely was amazing and did not know was possible. Coulter, before getting in a relationship with Katie, was a lot more serious, and now he's a lot more caring, and you see a lot more of the goofball underneath.
The magic that Katie has is Katie knows how to get to Coulter.
Katie brings out the emotion in Coulter that Coulter would normally keep hidden to himself, and so she makes him participate in the family in ways that he wouldn't normally. Katie herself is also very responsible and does a great job with helping, particularly with Brett's children.
Coulter keeps everyone at arm's length, but Katie has managed to work her way in. And so that is what she brings to the family, because he's so stubborn that we can't reason with him sometimes, and she can.
My name's Coulter, and this is my wife Katie, and we met about 12 or 15 years ago now at church.
I was, I think, 11 years old, and I remember going in, and this was like after the church service, and there was a room full of kids, and I didn't realize they were all related. But they all looked alike, and we walked in, and they were watching The Princess Bride, and I'd never seen it before, which wasn't like this big deal, but then there were several times that we would kind of meet and re-meet throughout the next few years, because back in cross country, he very much had the older brother look about him and aura around him, and so my my very first impression of him was that he was a stick in the mud.
She's not shy about giving this first impression either. It's one of those where she talks about it a lot.
I went off to college and started to like him, and I came back and played Frisbee with him for one summer, and was like, oh man, I really do like him, don't I? And I would talk with my friends about it. I'm like, I don't know what to do. We'll just keep talking, and we would text a lot. And at one point, Emery actually came to visit me at college just to hang out, because we were pretty good friends. And I sat him down one time and I was like, listen, I need to tell you something so that you can tell me what to do. I really like Coulter. Should I say something to him? And Emery goes, no, he's not ready to date right now. And he's said it before, so you can't say anything. I said, okay. And so I dropped it. I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll just be friends and that'll be okay. But he kept texting me, and I was like, I don't know where this is going.
I was gonna say, I guess that was the point where I picked it up, because it was probably over that summer that I asked Emery, because as we mentioned on one of the earlier episodes, I am a little emotionally constipated. And Emery and Brett have always been my windows into the emotional world. And I asked Emery, I'm like, does anybody like me right now? Because I tried to be semi-aware of that, I guess. And he's like, yeah. And I said, who? And he said, I'm not telling you, which I knew was going to be trouble starting then and there, because if it was something that I didn't have to take seriously, he would have just told me. But when he said, I won't tell you, that meant it was somebody that he actually liked and respected and thought there was a chance of us getting married down the road, which I guess makes him fairly intuitive. And it took me like all of a couple minutes to boil it down to Katie. And then there was a lot of like soul searching of like, because I don't know myself very well. And yeah, a lot of praying and a lot of thinking. And then I asked her out in the winter of 2020, right before she went back to college, because I have an impeccable sense of timing.
Yep.
And then we dated for a year and some odd, and then were engaged for about another year, and got married September 4th, 2022.
Yep.
I see the ocean! I see the ocean! Oh! I see the ocean!
You see the water?
Oh!
You see all that water?
Oh! We made it to the beach! Yay!
What do you say?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kylie. Happy birthday to you. Okay.
Where's Granddad? Hey, Granddad.
That was all Kylie's because she's white.
Wait till mommy says. Wait till mommy says.
We got Kylie a smash cake, and we got it purple because Rapunzel is my favorite Disney princess, and so I'm just kind of trying to like gently shove Kylie towards loving Rapunzel too. And so we got a purple smash cake and this like gorgeous cake for all the adults that looked like Rapunzel's hair. It was so pretty. And we get down on the beach and spread out a plastic tablecloth. And Kylie wanted nothing to do with the smash cake. She wanted nothing to do with it. I tried showing her how good it tasted. She was not interested, which is funny because neither of my boys wanted anything to do with theirs either. And so I told Landon and Michael they could come in and they could help with the smash cake. And they got really excited, and Landon was like, you know, smacking the cake. And then I told Landon he could stomp on the cake. Which he did, and he was very excited about. So there were probably 30 of us watching this cake smash that totally failed because she wanted nothing to do with it. And then we all went up to the house and we had our adult cake that didn't get smashed. So it was great. Kylie is an awesome addition to our family. I would love to have more kids. We still want to have, like, my number is 6 to 8 kids. Mason's number is 8 to 10 kids. So Landon and Michael were born in 2018 and 2020, and both of them were C-sections. And when it was time for Kylie to be born, I knew that I wanted to try for a VBAC, a vaginal birth after cesarean. And so I went to the only hospital in our area that would even allow you to try for a VBAC after 2 C-sections. And I was praying so hard. And I was shocked when I managed to deliver Kylie vaginally. So it was this awesome moment, and I'm so glad that I finally did it after trying so hard for the other 2. And so her birthday every year is just this reminder that I did it. But Kylie is definitely an amazing addition to our family. Her brothers are obsessed with her, and I can't wait to watch her grow up.
My favorite part about Topsail has got to be the fishing. I really enjoy fishing. Coastal fishing is the closest I've ever felt to God. Something about just, you know, casting, saying a prayer with the cast, letting it sit there and just talking to God, and then saying a prayer right before you reel it in. It allows me to just relax and kind of meditate a little bit on Him, and it's one of my favorite memories.
My favorite part of Topsail is probably just being at the ocean and relaxing. I love the sound of the ocean. It's my happy place. I've been going there for years, and I can't wait to go back.
Walking in the sand together is really nice. Playing in the waves is super fun. Building sandcastles, now that we know how to do it, is really fun. But honestly, I'm kind of a geek, and I really like the helicopters. Topsail's right by Camp Lejeune, and they've got some really cool military equipment that just flies up and down the beach, and I get really excited every time I see them.
Me, it's just the waves. It's just the sound of the waves. It's the smell in the air. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't care if I'm in the water. I don't care if I'm walking. I don't care if I'm sitting. As long as I can see and hear the waves, I am just at peace. I am an ocean girl. I grew up on the ocean. I've spent my whole life on the ocean, and it was really important to me that the children love the ocean the way I do.
And we do.
We do. Everybody loves it. Everybody spends hours in there and hours. And so then Landon was born, and Landon loves the ocean. And then Michael was born.
Michael does not like the ocean or sand or anything to do with the beach.
Michael
which
wants nothing to do with
is
the
a
ocean.
little different.
Difficult.
We're not used to that.
And then there's Kylie. Kylie, who turned 1 at the ocean. We call her Moana because you'd put her down and she'd run for the waves. And you'd pick her up.
As fast as she could go.
Pick her up, bring her back, distract her with a toy. Next thing you know, turn around and she's back in the waves. And this happened for 2 weeks straight.
The whole time
The
we were
whole
there.
time.
You couldn't turn away from her because she'd be in the ocean. She had no fear. A wave would come and crash into her and knock her down on her butt. She'd be giggling, get up and try and go farther in.
You know, and then we had the, like at low tide, the tide would go out and there'd be the
tide
pools of
pools.
water. She would face plant in them. I mean, and
No fear.
she was just as happy and everything was good when she was, so she's her grandmother's daughter, a granddaughter, all I can say.
So we had another fun day at the beach today. Rehearsal went really well. Everybody that's supposed to be here is pretty much here, at least that's involved in the wedding, so we got to talk over everything. Food was great, but one of the more dramatic things is that we were playing soccer this morning, and probably, I don't know, 20 minutes after playing soccer, Eleni was like, man, I really hurt my toe playing soccer. And I was like, really, what'd you do? She said, well, when I went to kick it, I don't know if she said she kicked a log or whatever, but she said her toe's really swollen. It's really swollen and she can't bend it very well. So it might be broken. And we're getting married tomorrow. She's got to walk down a sandy aisle and stairs. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.